2025 is going incredibly well for Xbox so far, but if you're an FPS fan like myself, it's only going to get better this year. Xbox has always been home to some incredible FPS titles. With the likes of Halo, Call of Duty and Doom underneath the Xbox umbrella, it's clear to see why many put Xbox and FPS games hand in hand. So today I'm going to be covering the 15 brand new first-person shooters coming to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass in 2025. My name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation. Subscribe down below for more Xbox content every single day, and in no particular order, let's dive straight into the games. First up, we have Jumpship, a co-op space shooter launching into early access in summer 2025 via Xbox Game Preview. This one's from the developers who worked at Hazelight and Mojang, and it's blending spaceship combat with fast-paced on-foot FPS combat. Imagine this, you and 3 friends are running a spaceship together. One person's at the helm, another one's putting out fires or fixing systems, whilst the rest are boarding enemy ships for loot and blueprints. The action is very chaotic, but it's got that classic co-op fun with some tongue-in-cheek humour to keep things pretty light-hearted. If you're into tactical, high-energy team play, then Jumpship really will be one to watch. The game's mission-based structure allows for a variety of different experiences. One mission, you might be defending a cargo ship that's under siege, whilst another, you may be infiltrating a derelict vessel haunted by alien threats. The mix of space travel and intense FPS battles keeps every session just fresh and unpredictable, and I cannot wait to try out this spacefaring adventure later this year. Now, do you remember Splitgate? It took the world by storm back in 2019 before disappearing just as fast. Well, the devs at 1047 Games are back with Splitgate 2, and it's looking like an absolute glow-up. They've completely overhauled the visuals, gone are the dark, drab maps of the original. Instead, we've got vibrant pinks, blues and futuristic coliseums packed with cheering crowds. At its core though, the gameplay still revolves around a portal-based combat system, combining Halo-style gunplay with the mind-bending strategy of Portal. The sequel actually introduces new weapons, expanded multiplayer modes, and also improved matchmaking. We're going from a 6v6 to a 5v5, and it makes it easier than ever to drop into a match and start pulling off some insane Portal plays. Whether you're ambushing enemies through surprise portals or using them to escape at the last second, Splitgate 2 is shaping up to be one of the most unique FPS games of this year. Next up, we're diving into something a little different, and that is known as Atomfall. This game takes place in an alternate history version of 1957 England, after a nuclear disaster inspired by the real-life Windscale fire. You will play as a survivor navigating a radioactive wasteland, scavenging for resources, crafting gear, and making moral decisions that could determine your fate. The world is very brutal here. Radiation zones, unpredictable weather, and hostile survivors make every step a risk. What makes Atomfall stand out from the crowd though is its gripping story, unraveling government cover-ups and uncovering the personal tragedies of those affected by this disaster. The dynamic choice system also means your decisions shape the entire world around you, determining who you trust and how you uncover the truth. If you love story-driven survival shooters, this one will be a must-play this year. From previews and early footage that's scattered across all of YouTube, it looks absolutely phenomenal, and we don't have to wait long as it launches this March and day 1 onto Xbox Game Pass. Alright, let's talk about Killing Floor 3, because if you love wave-based zombie shooters, this one's gonna be on your radar. Set in the year 2091, the world has been overrun by bioengineered Zeds, created by a megacorporation called Horzine. You play as part of a resistance group called Nightfall, teaming up with other players to take down these horrifying creatures and fight back against corporate tyranny. The previous game, Killing Floor 2, was such an absolute blast, and this one looks even more intense. It has bigger hordes, crazier weapons, and pure adrenaline pumping action. From what I know, the weapon customization in Killing Floor 3 looks deeper than ever before, allowing you to upgrade and modify your arsenal for more effective zombie slaying. With a co-op mode that actually supports up to 6 players, teamwork is incredibly key as you face off against increasingly difficult waves of enemies. The launch for this one is just around the corner as well, and comes to us on the 25th of March. The Doom franchise is taking a bold new step in new territory with Doom: The Dark Ages, a medieval-themed prequel to the modern Doom games. This time, the Slayer is thrown into a dark fantasy war, battling demonic forces amidst a hellish medieval battlefield. During the Xbox Developer Direct earlier this year, id Software showcased 3 key aspects: combat, exploration, and story. We can expect to wield brutal medieval-inspired weapons alongside Doom's signature fast-paced gunplay, so that means maces, axes, and more absurd weapons. The environments are very rich and immersive, blending gothic castles with nightmarish landscapes, and the narrative dives deeper into the Slayer's origins than ever before. This is really being touted as the most ambitious Doom game yet, combining the adrenaline-fueled action that fans really love with a darker, more cinematic storytelling approach. Mark your calendars though, as Doom the Dark Ages launches on the 15th of May, and from what we've seen is an absolute must-play and lands day one onto Xbox Game Pass. Borderlands 4 is back, and it's bigger, wilder, and more chaotic than ever before. Gearbox is once again delivering new Vault Hunters, expanded skill trees, and an insane arsenal of loot, but that's just scratching the surface. The game this time around is set in Kairos, a brand new world teeming with quirky characters, dangerous enemies, and some of the best side quests the series has ever seen. This time around, you'll be exploring some pretty diverse biomes, from volcanic wastelands to neon-lit cyber cities, each of them packed with unique encounters and hidden surprises. We actually got to see more gameplay as they did release a trailer not too long ago now, and I won't lie, it looks exactly like the Borderlands games we already know and love. With tons of weapons, over-the-top gadgets and power-ups, it's looking to be an awesome addition to the franchise. Whether you're tackling raid bosses or uncovering the mysteries of Kairos, you'll be able to jump into Borderlands 4 on the 23rd of September this year. From the mind behind BioShock comes Judas, a game that blends story-driven FPS action, moral dilemmas, and deep world building into one unforgettable experience. At its core, Judas is about choices. Your interactions with other characters shape the entire world, leading to branching storylines and multiple endings. Each decision you make in this game has lasting consequences, making every playthrough unique. Combat in Judas is just as intricate as its storytelling. It has a mix of high-tech gadgets and supernatural abilities that allow for creative problem solving, whether that means hacking enemy robots, unleashing devastating energy blasts, or just manipulating your environments to your advantage. With its haunting soundtrack, meticulously designed dystopian environments, and the unmistakable Ken Levine touch, Judas has all the makings of an instant classic. If you love BioShock, keep your eyes locked on this one, as I'm sure we'll hear more very, very soon. Now, imagine Mad Max meets steampunk mechs, and that's Sand in a nutshell. This is a massive open-world PvPvE sci-fi survival game set on Sophie, a harsh desert planet filled with danger, mystery, and opportunity. You may be thinking, what's your main tool for survival? Well, they're called tramplers, giant customizable steampunk mechs that act as both transport hubs and mobile bases. You can equip them with weapons, armor, and special abilities to fend off different enemies, whether it's other players in the world or the terrifying creatures that roam the planet. Exploration though in this game is incredibly key. You'll have to scavenge for new resources, craft some pretty cool weapons, and battle it out in FPS style combat. But there's more than just survival in this game. The game is actually set in an alternate 1910 Austro-Hungarian spacefaring reality, meaning there's a deep, lore-rich story to uncover as you traverse the entire wasteland. With its blend of survival mechanics, open-world exploration, and high-stakes PvPvE battles, Sand is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious and unique shooters in 2025. Now for something completely different. Mouse PI for Hire. This game is as quirky as it is clever, blending 1930s rubber hose animation with a gritty noir detective story. And yes, you are playing as a mouse. Don't let the adorable visuals fool you though, as this FPS packs a serious punch. You'll be navigating through a world filled with gangsters, corrupt officials, and bizarre characters, solving mysteries while engaging in some pretty fast-paced gunfights. The hand-joint animation is beautifully done, as you can see on screen now, and the contrast between the whimsical art style and the dark crime-ridden storyline makes this one of the most unique FPS games on this list. If you've ever wanted to play as a tough-as-nails private eye in a world where animals run the show, then this game's charm and detective noir vibe will have you hooked from the first clue. FragPunk is set to redefine the hero shooter genre with its chaotic, unpredictable gameplay and creative mechanics. This 5v5 tactical shooter introduces what are called shard cards, a game-changing feature that allows you to modify gameplay in real time. It's launching on the 6th of March this year, and it will be free to play, making it easy for anyone to jump in and start wreaking havoc. Xbox Series X and S players can also grab the exclusive Pioneer bundle for just $10, which includes some premium cosmetics, the launch season battle pass, and exclusive in-game perks to show off your dominance. What's more though, the developers have hinted at an aggressive post-launch roadmap promising new heroes, maps, game modes, and even more shard cards to keep the experience evolving. So whether you're a hardcore competitive gamer or just looking for a fast-paced, unpredictable fun shooter, then FragPunk is ready to deliver that pure mayhem. Get ready for chaos when it launches in early March. Terminator Survivors is next on this list, and I'm incredibly hyped for this one. You'll be stepping into the shoes of a human resistance fighter in a world ruled by Skynet, where Terminator units hunt you down at every single turn. This isn't your typical FPS, it actually includes stealth and survival, which are just as important as the combat itself. You'll need to use every trick in the book to outsmart these relentless killing machines. With limited resources and high-stakes encounters, every decision you make could ultimately be your last. The tension of constantly being hunted by near-indestructible machines will really keep you on edge, and you'll have to manage resources, avoid different detections, and fight back against some pretty overwhelming odds. For anyone who's a fan of the Terminator universe, this is shaping up to be a dream come true and comes to us sometime this year. Exoborne is a game for those who love a mix of fast-paced action and RPG-style progression. This is set in a world ravaged by both natural disasters and violent storms, and you play as a soldier outfitted with high-tech exoskeleton suits designed for high-risk missions. What makes Exoborne stand out though is its combination of action and customization. You may be thinking this doesn't look like your traditional FPS game, and it isn't. You play in third person, with the shooting mechanics allowing you to go into FPS mode. You'll be upgrading your exosuit as well, unlocking new abilities that let you take down enemies and explore hostile environments. The combat, as you can see, is very fast, brutal, and dynamic, blending that sort of run and gun action with incredible tactical depth. Every mission looks like it'd be high risk, high rewarding challenges, demanding quick reflexes and your strategic thinking. If you're into more action-packed shooters with some pretty deep RPG mechanics, then Exoborne should definitely be on your radar. What's better than a game that you can play with your friends? Well, a free game is definitely better. Delta Force is a reboot of the classic franchise, bringing players back into the action-packed world of military tactical shooters. The game throws you onto the battlefield with multiple operators and mission types for you to choose from. Think of Battlefield 2042, but more refined and the game that we actually expected from DICE upon its launch. I'm talking tight gunplay, vehicular combat, large-scale maps, and just so much more. The developers have already been providing a ton of content since its launch on PC, with new items and resources available to enhance your operator's loadout. Though there's no official console release date as of yet, it's heavily rumoured for a 2025 launch on the Xbox Series X and S consoles. Get ready for this one, as not only will it be able to play through this awesome multiplayer aspect, but also the single player campaign, as both will land on the consoles at launch. Obsidian is back, and they're making everything bigger, bolder, and more hilarious with the Outer Worlds 2. This sequel introduces an entirely new star system, packed with diverse biomes, from underwater labs to floating islands that are tethered by ancient tech. Exploration has also been completely overhauled, featuring dynamic weather systems and procedurally generated side missions that ensure that every playthrough is incredibly unique. You'll encounter factions that are battling over scarce resources, and your choices will shape the galaxy in a way that you've never seen before. The revamped combat system is more customizable than ever, letting you modify weapons and abilities to fit your very own playstyle. Even the corporate satire is back in full force with this one, promising laugh out loud moments alongside epic sci-fi storytelling. The Outer Worlds 2 is looking like a must-play RPG shooter in 2025, and it comes day one onto Xbox Game Pass. Control fans, this next one is for you. Remedy is expanding the Control universe with FBC Firebreak, a co-op PvE shooter that drops players into the middle of a paranormal chaos. You will be able to join up with friends to take on supernatural threats in the ever-shifting environments that will keep you on your toes. This one is actually launching day one onto Xbox Game Pass this year, and this game is looking to offer a deeper look into the mysteries of the Federal Bureau of Control. Each mission will be procedurally generated, meaning that no two runs will ever feel the same. The game will also encourage team-based strategies, with each character bringing unique abilities that complement different playstyles. Whether you're shielding allies from supernatural blasts or hurling objects with telekinesis, the action is thrilling and unpredictable. With the oldest house in its twisting hallways and shifting architecture, FBC Firebreak looks to deliver a mind-bending, replayable FPS experience like none other on the market. So, what FPS game are you looking forward to out of this list? Let me know down below. I'm sure I will be covering the new Battlefield and Call of Duty in the coming months, so make sure you're subscribed down below if you want to be kept up to date with all the latest FPS games coming to Xbox. Like the video if you enjoyed, and whilst here, why don't you check out the video on screen now, as I covered the 15 best Xbox console exclusives you have to play in 2025.